That's why we were always kind of awkwardly sitting around. So.
Yeah.
So I did not have a song for tonight. I was being really lazy, and I was like, I did four in a row. I'm good. I don't need to do one tonight. And then our listener Amanda messaged me and said, "Hey, what's the song for tonight? I'm just curious." And I went, "I don't have one." And she went, "Oh," disappointed look, And I was like, she's like, "Just strum something on C, and then just say Ramblecast." So I was like, "Oh, like Ramblecast," like And then my immediate thought was like, "Do I know a song that's only on C?" And one popped in there, and I went, "Okay, let's just do what she did literally." So, so we'll see how this goes. You can blame her if you don't like it. Turn off your mind, relax, and Ramblecast. It is exciting. It is exciting. Lay down our thoughts, surrender to the laughs. It is funny. It is funny that you may see the meaning of at last. The Ramblecast. The There you go. It's so weird.
I got to say, Amanda, that's your best one yet.
That's Amanda's best one. Yeah, I think so too.
And Matt, you have the best background for that song. Really, exactly. Think about it.
I was thinking of the washing machine or the washing version, the one that's on the anthology.
Oh, right, yeah.
I like that version. I love all versions of that song, so I'm a big fan of that song. So thank you. That was great.
Well, I mean, that's it. Like as soon as Amanda said, "Just strum something on C," I went. It's just me. The light bulb was like, "Oh yeah, Tomorrow Never Knows" is on C. I'll just do that.
Hey, and John was just reading, lines from the Book of the Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's, that's what's interesting about that song. It's like I think it is in the anthology video where Paul talks about that. Is that John just came in and said, "I want to strum something on C," and it just said it. Just I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, who would think like just strumming on one chord would be an interesting song? But
a genius.
Yeah.
I should have picked it up today. I was at the comic book shop and they had a comic book kind of story like about Paul is dead. And it was kind of like and I leafed through it and kind of got some gist of it. And there was some really cool artwork. And I was like, oh, this is really neat. I'm going to have to pick this up next time I'm through here. So I couldn't
once you finish The Big Bang Theory.
No, you got voted out. You can't do it.
Sorry. Tough. Matt Treese, you're joining us for your birthday party. I was actually just thinking about that. Like will Matt Treese make an appearance? Even though
I thought he wouldn't. I thought Nick's song would be about a birthday song to Matt, but I guess not.
Yeah, I don't do birthdays.
Okay, you say you're a Matt. That's my.
I've actually tried so many times. That song is so weird and not really good on the ukulele. So it's like.
So, anyway, gentlemen,
I meant to tag you in that. I thought I tagged you in that.
I'm so glad you didn't.
Oh, does he not know about that? Yeah,
I found out about it just like the other day, and I was like, seriously, you're just sitcom shaming me. That's what you're doing.
I was like going, why is it Matt responded? And then I go, oh, I didn't tag him.
But it's a weird spoken. Yeah. It's a weird thing about not being on Facebook and then coming back to Facebook because I jump on it periodically and I see random things at random times. One thing, and this is kind of like a check in favor of that Facebook, even though this has a sad twist to it, is you see comments and posts from friends that you haven't seen for a while, and so a friend of mine was posting about someone in particular, and I was like, oh. We know that same person. That's so weird. It was like a 6 degrees of separation kind of thing. Like, oh, you knew him through high school and I knew him through this. And then I'm reading the post and I learned that he died of COVID.
Oh.
And it was kind of shocking because it was somebody my age. This is the first person in my age group that I know personally. And,
do you have a pre-existing condition?
this is the thing. I don't know more than what I know about the Post, because he had moved to Chicago a few years ago, and other than following him on Instagram and social media, sometimes that's the only life that we know of other people, especially friends. Mm-hmm. And I had seen he had posted back at the end of January, like January 29th or 30th. He had sled down the dunes up in northern Indiana. There's the Dune National Park. Yeah. Well, when it snows and you get that Chicago lake effect snow on them, you can actually sled down a section of some of the dunes. Of the dunes. The dunes get covered, all the sand gets covered with snow, and it makes a great sledding hill, a really long one. And he had posted this incredible video of him going down it. It's like a full minute of him just sledding down it. And I was like, that's so cool, like sledding up there. And I was reading his post, and, it was the first time that he had gotten to do it. And then, that was less than 2 weeks ago. And I'm just like, wow, holy shit. Like he didn't post like, I'm sick, guys. I mean, he was not a anti-masker, like, going through his feed, you can see him wearing masks in public. And
well, did he not know he had it at that point? Maybe
it could be. It could have been. I mean, I don't know. I know as much as what I've told you, and I haven't been digging further. I could reach out to the friend that I found out from, but also just one of those kind of shockers too. Like, I think most of us have been resigned. Like, okay, anybody that's of this age and over, they're pretty much gone. So, we can just write you off, Jack, and
Yeah, I'm waiting.
My mom texted me today to tell me her and dad got the first round of the shot today. I was like, oh, okay. You sore? And she's like, no, not yet. I was like, yeah, but the next one will be.
Yeah, but now you're having people coming up with different, a few people with rare blood diseases from it, and my biggest biggest fear is that we don't know the long-term effects of the shot. I mean, I'll get the shot when probably in November when my turn comes around, but we don't know.
Right. I mean,
because it was rushed to get.
Right. Me and a nurse were talking about this about 3 or 4 days ago, like how, and I don't mean this, to say like don't take the shot, people, but it's an experimental rushed vaccine. It's RNA based. It's not a traditional vaccine where you take a sample of the virus, and make a vaccine. It's not a DNA, but it's of its sequence, and so it's definitely something that could have effects on your body, and it's just one of those things. Like if you're a cautious person like me, because I got diabetes from taking a shot of steroids, so it's like I'm always like, oh, I don't like putting things into my body because you don't know the reaction.
Really? That's how you got it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I had gotten a skin virus, out in the field working, and it just was all on my arms. It was some really rare virus, kind of like chicken pox. Like once you get it, you don't get it again. It's just like one of those things. I didn't know what it was. Right. And I went to like a CVS or a Walgreens or something, get one of those little minute clinics they have. And she was like, oh, it's just some skin thing. I can give you some steroids. It'll clear up in like a week, And so she just gave me a shot. And then like within like the next 12 hours, I just had a huge reaction, and that's basically what did it. It just overwhelmed the virus in combination with the steroids, overwhelmed my pancreas. Wow. It's really rare. I mean, that's really rare for anybody. I'm like less than 1% of that to happen to somebody, but like it can happen. So.
Yeah, because now you have the new variants coming out, and now there's people saying that you should wear a double mask, and I'm like going, we can't get some people to wear one. Wear double mask, or you need a better mask because they don't know the variant. It just.
What is it like condoms? Because I was told double mask. Double mask
a condom. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just there's so much information out there. It's of course I don't follow the doctors on Facebook. The people I go and watch the news and stuff.
I don't know about you guys. I get more annoyed with the chin diaper mask wearers than the people who just don't wear a mask. It's like, it's like, if you're out there just like this, like, I'm like, why the fuck are you even wearing it? Like, if you're just covering this, it's like, you're just an idiot at that point.
Yeah. It's kind of like pick a lane. Like, okay, are you going to be in the dumbass lane, or are you going to get with the program with science?
I got my mask on.
I saw a guy in line at Kroger just today that it was like, out of, I don't know, it was like out of force, not fear, or something like this, or I'm wearing this out of force, not fear. And I'm like, I'm not wearing a mask out of fear. Like, there's no fear involved here. In fact, when I was going out in public and I was one of the first people wearing a mask out in public, I felt protected because, and I think that's the thing, is that it's, you're doing it to protect others and you're doing it to protect yourself. And we talked about it a couple of podcasts ago about at my store having an anti-masker.
Right.
Yeah. And just, that conclusion that she came to of like, oh, I didn't realize that, if, small business like this, one of you it could hurt the whole business. It's like, yeah, I mean,
well, if it can hurt one person, that's a bad thing.
Right. Yeah. But then it's like, but you're okay with the people infecting them at Kroger and Hobby Lobby, where she came from, or, it's like,
it's crazy.
I don't know. It's just like, there's no sympathy, of saying like, or empathy or thoughts of others. So I don't know. This is my first week back to teaching full time. Yeah. So, and that's, it's a mixed bag, because on one hand, you want to protect yourself, and everybody's protected there wearing masks. I only had one student that decided, I don't know, in the heat of drawing passion, decided like, oh, I just can't breathe, and pulled it down, and I just, I gave him a moment, came around, and I was like, okay, got to put your mask back.
Some people need their nose for their artistic creativity.
That is like, that's something I notice if I'm wearing it for a long time.
Yeah.
The septum, it starts to get irritated. And then that's usually, if I pull it off, it's because my nose is hurting. Yeah.
Yeah. I do the same thing, just to have that relief off of that part of the nose. So, and it's annoying, it's uncomfortable, but all that aside, it is great being back in person with students and being able to I think I had students. Most students are like, oh, it's like 15 minutes to go. I can't wait to get out of this class. Most students were just like, oh, it's over?
Yeah.
Do we have to go?
Have to get out.
Stay?
Yeah, I was like, it just was kind of an unusual, and I think I know, just taking a quick poll from some of my students, it's my class and maybe one other, and that everything else is online. Randy asks, even the nude models wear masks. Well,
where do they wear them?
It's a good question. I have not had nude models since this has taken place. So
nude models are suffering from this.
The nude model industry, I would say, is suffering because on one hand, it's like, you need a figure. I know that some of the other art major classes, but I teach a lot of non-art majors, and this is kind of like it's not something we debate. But
I would be pissed there because I'm not an art major.
Yeah, you were taking a class hoping for some action.
Someone should have just made a see-through hazmatic suit. They could have been out there just.
That's a great idea.
Some of the teachers like to wear the face shield as well, just as because you do get a little bit close. When you go up to draw, and I've noticed that I get carried away because I'm looking at their drawing and I'm trying to okay, do this and fix that. And this one girl, this one girl today, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to pick on you, and she's like, no, I appreciate it. I need that feedback. It's like. It's
you have no talent.
Well, I mean, Nick, you might know this also too. Just like playing music, is that sometimes if you're just playing music by yourself, you don't have anything to go off of, and you kind of sometimes just need that other person to come in and say, what about this, or
Yeah, because it sounds different. There's times where I've recorded things. Me personally, here's a song I like. Let's see what this sounds like. And in your head and the way you're doing it, you're like, oh man, that sounded good. And then when you play it back, you could have hit a sour note with your voice, and you're like, wow, I didn't pick up that. That was really bad. I'm never singing that song again. So it's just, it is, you need those other people. What was I going to say?
Nude singing?
Oh, no.
You were going to say, when are we going to get to the wedding of the ramble?
The wedding part, yeah.
The ramble and the after dark. I don't know. I can't move on. It's funny. I have this cordially invited, and Christopher, our Skypack, which, by the way, I hope everybody understands that our middle initials, if you saw our little title thing.
Because the first time I saw it, I went, my middle initial is not A, and then I went, I got it.
I didn't even notice, but yeah, now I get it.
Yeah, actually, my middle initial is C, so it would have worked there. But
I was just trying to figure out the wedding thing. I go, who's getting married?
I just thought it would.
No, he said that. Yeah, he said that last podcast that he got a new application to make this stuff, and that we should check it out. Blah blah blah. I guess you weren't listening. Then he said, "So don't be surprised." He said, "Don't be surprised if you get a wedding one next week." And I was like, "Yeah."
Was that what you guys were talking about? Star Wars?
No. It was right in between Star Wars. I mentioned a wedding, and you were just like bored.
Do you talk about Star Wars? We talk about Star Wars.
Yeah,
before we talk about Star Wars, we should talk about the Super Bowl.
Oh, the Super Bowl!
God, was that just a pile of crap?
Can we just have a Super Bowl where it's football for like 60 minutes? Like that's all I want. Like that's what I want out of the playoff games, and that's what I want out of the Super Bowl. 60 minutes. I want it to come down to the fourth quarter, last line drive, fourth and whatever. I want to see that. Give it to me. That. The only way the game ends.
I was shocked, Chris. Chris isn't feeling well. That's why he's not here tonight. But I was shocked he wouldn't show up because you can say the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Chris isn't here. I didn't notice. No, I noticed, buddy. Chris, I missed you.
But to me, I said, "Oh my God!" Did the refs just take the game and just? I'm not saying that's the reason why the Buccaneers won, but it took the. I turned to my wife. I go, I can't watch this anymore. Maybe the halftime show will pick it back up.
It took the competitiveness out of it.
Yeah,
because there was no there were a ton of calls that just you were like, "Are you kidding me? Like what?"
Brady throws an interception. Oh, there's a holding call. Somebody on the internet broke down the three main plays or three big calls, and you look and you go, "Oh my God, it was so bad." Those calls. I mean, this is the Super Bowl, and it's so fucking bad. Like the whole where Brady throws the interception, there's no holding. The pass interference where they get tripped up, they show it. They get tangled on their feet.
Yeah,
that's why that defensive back falls. And plus, it wasn't catchable.
Right.
And one in the end zone.
That one was the one that I remember seeing with the feet that you're talking about.
Yeah. And the one in the end zone where they got caught on the same play, it was literally the ball was like 15 yards out of the end zone. There was no chance, and Brady was just throwing it away. Literally, it was just like, okay, no one's open. I'm just going to throw it away. Oh. Yeah, and you're like going, and it just you could see it flustered the. I think a lot of it had to do with Andy Reid's idiot son was drinking and hit a car that had a family in it and there's a child on life support.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so his son actually is an assistant defensive something on the team because I don't understand why Andy on that play with a 2-pass interference. I don't know why he was calling timeout.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. You're only down by 8 going the second, and they didn't run the ball. They didn't. Yeah. It's like they were on just.
I thought, did Brady just like talk to Tampa Bay and they're like, "Look, I've played in a ton of these. The best way to beat me is to just knock me off my rocker." Okay, so that's what you need to do to them because that's essentially what they did. They never allowed Mahomes to get comfortable.
No,
and as soon as they got him uncomfortable, he was never settled the rest of the game. And that was it.
Again, when you got a pass rush like that, you have to run the ball. You have to do screens. You have to, and they just kept trying to throw deep. They were double teaming his, Britt Reed was what an idiot. But anyway, just to me, it was just it just was boring and just. The one that killed me the most was the one where after they scored that touchdown, they gave with Matthews, they gave him an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Well, if you watch the video, Brady actually runs up to him and gets in his face after the touchdown, says something to him. Then that's when he puts up his finger 1-1-1. Brady chases him down again, starts screaming at him again. I go, all right, how do you get one and not the other? If you're trying to, because I think the first half it was 8 penalties to 1, 8 for the Chiefs, 1 for. And when I was reffing hockey, obviously not at this level, as I went further along, longer as a ref, I learned, okay, I better call both. It's going to make my life easier. Even if it was just like one was not, but the other one, I go, it's a nothing penalty. But then I started thinking, well, they probably didn't want to give Brady because if you get 2 of those, you're out of the game. So maybe that's why they didn't give Brady one. But it was clearly, how do you not call both on that penalty? But it is what it is. I mean, Tom Brady is the best, but let's face it, dude gets the calls. It's not even funny anymore. He gets the calls. But that's all I got. I mean, the Super Bowl, like I said, I turned it off and started watching a new show I've started watching.
Oh.
Yellowstone.
Where does that take place?
It's funny because nobody on this, it's Kevin Costner's show. It takes place in Montana. He owns a ranch, a 200,000 square foot ranch. Nobody on this show is happy. Nobody. Literally nobody. And if you, Nick, have you guys seen the show?
One episode.
Okay. It's a beautiful ranch. If I had the money, I'd move to Montana because I just like I don't like snakes and I don't like bears, but I'd still move there. But it's just a beautiful place. But nobody on this show is happy. We signed up for the PeaCOCK.
I was just going to do the tip of the PeaCOCK.
Anyway, so we went the cheapest because I told my wife, I said, why don't we try this Yellowstone? We can watch the first episode. And she goes, well, we have to pay for it after that. I go, yeah. Yes, I am. But I finally talked her into watching it. And the first one's like an hour and a half. And we liked it. So we signed up for the PeaCOCK. We do the commercials. And the only thing I hate about it's not the commercials. Because it's the same fucking commercials.
Oh, yeah.
Over and over. Yeah. Target is single-handedly defeating COVID by themselves.
Oh, COVID, Target. Huh. Well, they do actually have that handy-dandy symbol of a Target that can zero in on it.
To give them credit, I did go to Target today, and they're the only ones still wiping down the shopping carts.
That's nice. That is good. Go ahead.
I was like, that's the only thing. It's the only thing that kind of makes me laugh sometimes is like if you go to the doctor's office or a bank or something like that. They're always, like I've noticed in our hotels when you're checking in, they have like one cup full of pens that are dirty and then ones that are clean. And I want to go, are you really fucking cleaning these pens? Really? I mean, are you paying some kid to pull these out with like an alcohol swab, or are you just dipping them? Like, what are you doing? Because I really don't think you're cleaning these pens. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, but you do see the guy.
Apparently, Eric, he gets the All-State Farm commercials on the cock.
Yeah, I get State Farm.
You guys can call it PeaCOCK. I like to call it the cock.
The cock.
Yeah. I get State Farm, and I get what did I say? Target. The only two.
Target.
There's one medicine one, and my wife was asking. She asked me something about it. I go, no, I was just trying to figure out the name of that. She goes, what? I go, well, I stopped listening to the commercial. The name was so weird. I was trying to think about why they would give it that name. But anyway, that was the Super Bowl, and now I'm like, okay, when's it going to be?
Will, I'm sorry to interrupt. Will's mentioning that his Target is still cleaning the self-check between customers. Oh. Ours did that the other day as well. So, and
we don't get that.
We recently bought a vacuum from Target. So it was the craziest transaction. We had like 3 different Target gift cards, like some other like credit gift card, and then I had like $100 in cash, and then my wife was putting it on her red card.
How much was the vacuum?
We got a Dyson.
Oh, did you get the battery?
No, we got the it's the larger upright.
Oh, okay.
We've had a large upright one for a long time, and I've had a Shark. The Shark only lasted maybe a year tops. But that Dyson that we got has lasted, and we've replaced parts on it. That's the great thing is you can order and replace parts. I see what you're doing. You're pointing to the Shark. Nice.
Pointing to the Shark.
Yeah, that's very good.
But
I like how Nick and Kim are having a whole diabetic conversation.
Yeah.
I've been reading that and trying to focus on what's going on here. But did people that were behind you, were they getting pissed?
No.
Come on.
I don't know.
Honest. You had 45 different cards. You're paying cash. Let me get out my red card so I can get my 5%. And it's like people, oh my God, I'll just give you the money. Hurry up.
Yeah, I should have. If we were thinking, I would have just let my wife put that on the card, and then I would have just been like, "Here's the cash."
I'm just kidding. Oh,
yeah, Matt Treist in the chat. It's funny. Nick had also mentioned this in the private chat. I know that Jack doesn't want to necessarily.
No, I watched The Mandalorian.
So this is breaking news that happened while we've been recording because, and this has been building on for a while now. But Gina Carano, I like to say Carino. Gina Carano.
She should have named her name Gran.
Well, I think Star Wars was holding on for I don't know what they were holding on to, thinking that maybe this would just kind of go away. But
she could have a spinoff.
That does put the show that she was going to be on kind of in question now.
Yeah, it does for sure. Ranger Ricks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hate the name of that show, by the way. Yeah, I hate it with a passion. Like whatever you're gonna put into Ranger Ricks of the New Society of the New Republic or the
Ranger Rick,
the New York Rangers of the whatever the fuck.
Hey, Ranger Rick.
Scrap that and put all of the money into the other shows and just make it good.
Got a picnic basket.
I hate it because I really liked her character. She did a good job with it. And,
I like her character. I liked the character that she was bringing to the show. I think she brought a character to the show and a personality to the show that Star Wars doesn't have, and I liked that. I think
definitely a badass.
Yeah, and unfortunately, just whatever she was doing.
What is she? I know she was doing some stuff, but what is she? Because I saw her trending. I took a nap.
Prostitutes.
Okay.
Basically, she just had some, strong opinions on social media that a lot of people didn't agree with, and just in today's world, you can't do that. So.
I think it goes a bit beyond that. I mean, there's something more than just like her having some.
I'm sure there is.
There's got to be some specific things that
she told Mickey Mouse to fuck off.
Mickey Mouse does not want to be associated with.
You're not telling me to fuck off.
the January 26th riot on democracy. They're just
January 26th.
January 6th. If I said 26th, that was a verbal slip. So,
we don't know that Mickey Mouse wasn't there.
We don't know, but we're pretty sure that he wants to distance himself. I'm pretty sure Mickey Mouse was the one with the zip ties. So.
That could have been, yeah. You think you'd find, because he's got that big ass head. You think you'd see?
Oh, him. I'm sorry, I was wrong. That was just a goofy ass motherfucker.
Yeah, I've been following her, so I don't know any. I just saw it trending because unlike Chris, I knew I was feeling like crap, so I took a nap. My grandkids are killing me, slowly killing me. So I took a nap. I went to sleep, and that's when I woke up, saw Chris, and then I go, okay, fine.
Yeah. I just want to call Chris out and say that's bullshit. So I mean, dude, I went sledding, man. I worked a full day on my feet, full week, dude.
I saw you got some snow.
I actually wanted to ask him if he's used compression socks before at work.
Well, they're good for diabetics.
Do you use compression socks?
I've never used them, but like they're when you get older, you're supposed to because they help your circulation.
I had to wear them when I had that blood clot.
Right. Oh, they're good for that too. Yeah.
And I just still keep them around because they're easy to put on. They're just So I had to wear them.
I use them as a base layer, and then I'll put a warm sock over them. But mainly when I'm on my feet all day teaching, or I know I'm going to have a long day, like standing on cement slab. It's just like. So if anybody, retail worker as well, like compression socks, they have saved my shins for sure. But there's just that moment of relief at the end of the day where you're like, oh dear God, like taking those suckers off. So,
but at this point, we should take a commercial break.
It's not your call.
Well, I knew Matt wasn't going to do it. Fuck, can't wait all day for Matt to do the right thing.
Oh, so just speaking of your background, that's why I stood up. I don't know if I ever showed you guys this, but I made this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here let's zoom in on Nick.
So for everyone who can't see, this is the
why is there ice?
It's not ice. It's the oat water.
Just fucking with you.
Yeah. And then on the back, you can see there's the shark underneath.
Oh,
that's cool.
That's cool.
And then I just need to somehow. No one's ever made them, but I need to get the minifigs to look like.
Oh yeah.
To look and then like for the jaws that would go here, they don't make a white batarangs that would look like it would be the jaws. So one day when they make those, I can put those there. But
are they in there talking about the Indianapolis? Is that what they're drinking inside?
Oh, right.
Eric,
right now they're inside. Yeah, having a sing along
on the chat all day. That's.
Oh, he's not sleeping anyway, right?
Yeah, keep that compression sock under your bed.
Yeah, it's probably crusty. Yeah. Just from the age, it's old.
What the hell is this?
No, Randy, it's not the Bubba Gump shrimp boat.
I can see that though.
Yeah. It's the one from Jaws though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still working. Yeah.
There's a local Lego store here that we have. I think I texted you in the Owen and Brews chat about it, but they do these little custom figs, So.
Well, that's what's great about the Lego stores in general is that there's always.
We can't say figurines anymore. It has to be fig.
They're minifigs. Yeah, that's just what
they're called minifigs. They're not called minifigures. Nobody would ever call them a minifigure.
All right.
Ever. It's
hey, it's your world. I'm just living in it.
Okay, hey, they're not called talkies anymore. Okay.
and that still pisses you off, doesn't it?
No. I hope Chris gets some rest, but damn, I like doubled up on the coffee tonight too because I was just like I'm so tired after sledding. Yeah, we had a ton of snow, and it's so cold that it's not going to melt, which is kind of cool, but also kind of shitty.
Well, we were supposed to get snow this week. It's like at one point showed 4 days of snow. I'm like, cool. Now it's 4 days of cold rain. I go. Nothing pisses me off more than rain.
Yeah, cold rain is shitty winter.
And that's what I told because my wife keeps going, look at that cute dog. Don't you want a dog? No, I don't want a dog. And then I showed her I said, this is why we don't want a dog. When it rains like 8 days, 9 days in a row, and it's all muddy, and you take the dogs out to do their business, and you got to take them for a walk because they got to move. And now they're all muddy. Now what do you have to do? You have to give the damn thing a bath. Of course I go, and then I said, of course I'm talking about me. So no, I don't want a dog. I said it.
You don't want a dog?
No, I don't want to. I love dogs, but I don't want a dog again.
Yeah.
You've
already got 4 running around all the time. So
yeah, they're killing me. They're just.
So at this point though, since you lost all your hair with the original kids, is that why you don't care anymore? It's like,
Yeah, I don't shave. I just fucking.
Yeah.
Well, it also makes you more rougher for when you give little, kisses or snuggles to little kids. They're like, "Oh, Grandpa! Oh, he's got the, scruffy beard."
Well, at least you mentioned, Grandpa. It made me sound like I had to register.
True, man, I can see it. You're just Jack. It's amazing. You're all gray now.
This is only 3 days.
I know, but still, but it's just. I'm so used to you from 15 years ago, where it was still fairly dark. And I'm like, wow.
And I only had one chin back then.
Yeah.
I think Kim says beard. Love that beard.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, she's talking about something else.
I call it a build.
Build.
No, but I'll shave it a couple of. But yeah, my granddaughter today, she has just been a pistol the last 2 days. Oh my God, goodness, she is one stubborn kid. And I told her, I said, it's not your fault. All the women on both sides of your family, my wife's side, the women are just stubborn. They just like they have an opinion and stuff like that. So it's like it's just like, but they just. I go, man, she's just wearing me down. Just like today, I said, let's go on a walk. She didn't want to put on her jacket. And her mom's still here teaching. Next week she'll be back in the classroom, but she's just screaming bloody murder. If you would have been outside our house, you would have thought someone was being killed. And she just was, and she wouldn't wear the jacket, so I left without her because her mom said, just leave without her, and she just was. Because she wouldn't put on her jacket. 2.5. She's 2.5. She's 2.5 now. Because Alex just turned 3 yesterday. Spicoli just turned 3.
A lot of birthdays right in a row. Because Colleen had a birthday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, she has the birthday the day before Alex, and it's like, lucky I'm on Facebook because I can't remember all these birthdays. But
I have a lot of family February birthdays too. So it's weird. It's a short month, but
our biggest one is August.
Okay,
There's so many birthdays in August. Of course, my birthday's in August.
Somebody was keeping warm in the winter, huh? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Jack. And it's a kind of one of those weird anomalies. But my high school girlfriend has the same birthday as you.
Really?
Yeah. And then Jay.
How do you know I'm not your high school girlfriend?
You don't fucking weird, man.
You don't know. You don't know.
And then Jay and my wife share a birthday. So it's like a weird kind of like just odd synchronicities of life.
I know 3 people that share my mom's birthday. Literally know them.
Wow. Like close.
Yeah.
And are they better than your mom?
No one's better than my mom.
Okay.
Didn't you hear me say with the bloodline between women and this? That's no. You trying to get me killed? You trying to get me killed?
I'm just. No. I know you have family that listens, so.
Yeah, no. My mom's the best. Simply the best.
Jack's got the crazy eyes of a quarterback, and if you don't follow Crazy Hank or any of the social media things that Jack's on, he shared this wonderful Tom Brady video of Jack as Tom Brady. It was pretty funny.
I'm the GOAT. I did the halftime show one too, but I said I probably can't get away with that. Just probably can't get away with it.
Oh, I thought you would just be one of the singers with the mask.
No. I was actually, because I've never heard of The Weeknd, and it's nothing personal against The Weeknd. Right. I did tweet. I go, yeah, I'm old enough to remember when I looked forward to The Weeknd. For The Weeknd.
I think the unfortunate part of the dancers that were wearing the jock strap mask.
Yeah.
Which is immediately what my wife saw as well. And I was like, no, he had bandages on his face. Like, this is kind of referencing, but if nobody knows that, it doesn't work.
Yeah. And again, I guess he spent $5 million of his own money.
$7
million. Again, he
So she's just outright saying it's not your beard. It's not your beard.
Yeah, come on, Kim. Tell the truth. I know the truth. You can try and change. Oh, sure, now. But no, I just was like, I like when they get like older groups that I realize they're trying to.
I like the music my way when I was a kid and drink.
It's not that. I mean, I when they had what's his name on there, the guy that did
Paul McCartney.
Not Paul McCartney. No, what's the guy's name?
That was 20 years ago.
Bruce Springsteen, the young guy.
not that Bruce Springsteen who got a DUI.
You want to see my Lego build?
What's his name?
What the hell is it? It's the pencil?
It's just
Michelle. What's that song? Michelle Pfeiffer's White Gold. Do 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. It's almost like James Brown, but it's a younger. What's the guy's name?
Bruno Mars. Yeah, he was good.
Bruno Mars. He was good. You know, maybe I was just in a pissy mood because the game sucked.
Yeah, sure.
And then they go to Lawrence Welk. I used to have to watch Lawrence Welk because it was the only fucking thing on TV.
I never remember him being a Super Bowl act, but that would be hilarious.
A 1 and a 2, and the bubbles. The problem is he was in Super Bowl 3, but the bubbles took so long to go away that they had to delay the start of the second half.
Yeah,
that was a problem. Yeah, because the bubble machine they couldn't shut it off. But anyway,
bring back up with people. That's what I'm saying. Up with people.
But you know, were the cheers when the cheers went crazy? Was that piped in because the stadium wasn't full? Was it?
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Matt, I don't know.
There was more people involved in the halftime show than there was in the stadium. Yeah, for sure.
And then I like how the NFL was preaching, you know, wear a mask, do all this different stuff, social distancing, all that different stuff, and yet they crammed everybody into that stadium. So when's the spike coming? Is there going to be a spike coming? I would think because this is
maybe because of all the Super Bowl parties. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Will. The Foo Fighters would have been a good get.
Yeah, that's like with Jack. I agree with what Barstool Sports said about it. It's like, yeah, he invested $7 million of his own money, aside from the money they gave him to do it. It's like, and that's all we got. You know, it's like, It's like, not that it wasn't bad. Like, it's funny. Like, I've seen it's either you're for it, you either liked it or you hated it. Like, it wasn't really in between. It's like, oh, I liked it, or like, you know, and
I like the dancing shark ones that we had a few years ago.
Yeah, that was funny. But that's what he was saying is that the Super Bowl halftime show can't be just someone running around. Just I couldn't hear anything. It was just all just a bunch of noise. It's just like, you know, and whereas like, you know, it needs to be either guitar solos and just rocking your butt off, or it needs to be someone like Michael Jackson who's dead. I mean, but just someone who can just get out there and dance their butt off and really put on a show. You know, and you're not getting that because today's artists,
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, like Jennifer Lopez. But you need to have – and the thing is that today's artists don't have a catalog like a lot of these other artists do. They can get out and just rock you for 20 minutes, you know, or so they've done that last few years of like getting multiple acts. You have like one or two hits, you know, and they're like, oh, like here's this group and now here's this group, you know.
Last year we had Jennifer Lopez and Sharika, right?
Right. I think that's right.
Yeah, I think might have just I was in a pissy mood because the game was so shitty. And the calls, and maybe it's just the pandemic's getting to me. I don't know.
It doesn't sound like you, Jack. I can't imagine you.
Yeah, I know.
Being negative, and
I'll be honest with you. I was tired. I said, I said I can take it. I can take a nap right now.
It was funny because like my entire family was watching the Super Bowl for different reasons. You know, I was like, I'm watching it from the game. My wife's watching it for the commercials.
Right. And the commercials sucked.
And well, there was a couple commercials that like were actually like teaser commercials for movies that my kids got excited about. So one, Raya the Last Dragon movie through Disney that's coming out in about a couple weeks or what have you. So, of course, my daughter was just like really pumped about that. And then they had the trailer for The Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right.
Yeah. So, and if you go to Disney Plus, you can watch the full trailer, which both my kids did.
Speaking of that, like, did you see the Will Ferrell commercial with the electric cars? Yeah. Did you see the response from Norway?
No.
Yeah, that was the thing that broke this morning is that they did their own little like kind of comeback, and it was like it showed like a professor at the University of Oslo or somewhere in Norway, like oh my gosh, you saw the commercials like the Americans are going to come here, like, and we don't want to make them mad, you know, like, and then like it goes into it's not Will Ferrell funny, but it is funny is like we apologize for making so many good cars, like, you know, and like it's
well to me it used to be. I mean, you have a whole fucking year. You're spending a lot of money. Get some imagination. Do something that just
and like Kim said, we want wardrobe malfunction. That was really popular. You bring back the wardrobe malfunction.
That was popular in the early
Thanks, Kim, for suggesting that.
It's done it. It's been there, done that. Like you can't, it's like, and then you have the whole comparisons, like who did it better.
And
copying.
It takes a Twitter awards, all that stuff.
Now, what if they did something where they said, okay, Disney or Warner Brothers, you got your new movie coming out. Why don't you do a big, huge act where you have some music? It doesn't have to be a band. It could be like a president.
Are you still talking about the halftime show?
Yeah. Like do a halftime show where like Mickey comes out on roller skates and does a flip through a hoop on fire.
Mickey's going to jail. He was part of the January 6th thing.
That's true. Well, I thought we agreed that was just some goofy motherfucker.
I don't know. We don't know. It's coming. It's going to come out in the Trump hearings.
Yeah. Well. I definitely
they'll have to have those big handcuffs because he's got those big mitts and stuff.
Exactly.
How do you put cuffs around Daisy Duck though? Because you better believe there's
Donald found a way.
How else did he get nephews?
He's got 3 nephews, Donald Duck. But why doesn't he? How does he have nephews with no kids? Whose kids are those?
Della.
Who are you into? Della.
Della's the mom.
Della's the mom.
Yep. And
my favorite though is the Chandler from Friends explanation about Donald Duck. It's like Donald Duck, his whole life never wore pants, but yet when he gets out of the shower, he puts a towel around his waist.
Yeah, that's true. He does. Yeah.
Well, it's because during the shower time he gets a little excited, and so he's covering up the kids. He's like, nobody needs to see that, Red Rocket.
And Daisy's like, no.
Yeah.
Just put the towel on.
No. By the way, Chris is saying Disney's halftime on ice. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got some new blockbuster movie you want to put people in the seats for.
You can just put tank ice out there. So
or just light a jet fighter on fire. Something fun for the kids.
That would be fun for the people in the stands. Because nothing smells better than burning jet fuel.
Yeah. I think like in Detroit or somewhere where they're used to burning stuff.
Yeah,
Detroit.
Just roll out a car out in the middle of the 50-yard line, just light it on fire. Just
bring out an Edsel. What's an Edsel?
An Edsel.
Edsel, yeah. They bring out an Edsel.
So, I mean, in the Falcon and Winter Soldier Falcon, whichever one comes first. They do have a little thing in that trailer about like Captain America, like halftime show kind of like little thing.
Was Captain America wearing? Did he send a selfie?
No, because Captain America. Spoilers if you haven't watched Endgame. Okay,
I haven't seen it.
He's old.
He's old. He's gone. He's gone, man.
What?
He's not. So it's a little bit of like who's going to take the mantle. I think is kind of what the show's going to be around. I don't know. I have no idea, but that seems to be what the trailer. At least the extended trailer kind of alludes to.
I can do it.
What are you doing?
Working out right now.
He's padding up, man.
I can do it.
For listeners at home, he is just stuffing lots of tissues in his shoulders.
He's used to it.
Well, I don't have Eric's.
Well, he didn't have the sock anymore. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Eric has compression socks. I would not use Eric's compression socks. That's for Eric to use. And
I can't get my foot in these. I can't get my foot in these socks. I can't figure it out.
The compression sock, it doesn't like go tighter. It just once it's. Never mind.
You finished that. Yeah. Anybody watch anything new? Other than Yellowstone? Yeah. I thought it was a bit. I mean, the one episode I saw, I thought it was a bit too soap opera-ish.
Oh, it's definitely a soap opera, and it's funny because Kevin Costner, who's obviously star of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't think of anything Kevin Costner's been in that I go, I don't like him.
Oh.
And you literally don't like Kevin. You're just not meant to like Kevin Costner.
The Big Chill.
He was in The Big Chill?
That's a movie buff joke. Yeah, he's the body. He's the guy that dies in the first movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually had a few scenes and they cut him out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, it was like Tom Selleck in Coma. Is it Coma?
I don't think I ever saw that one. Okay.
He just plays a dead guy. because he was a Marlboro Man before. So just saying. Yeah, so I got to. We're midway through season 2 now. We're binging it. Now my wife's into it, but literally, like his daughter is like the nastiest person. And it's funny because after the second episode, I told my wife, I said, this show could really work a lot better if they had some kind of like lost flashbacks. So I could figure out why is she so miserable? Why is she just the meanest fucking person in the world? And the next episode, we got flashbacks.
Oh,
I said, finally. So now, and so then you understand. Okay, yeah, I can see why she is the way she is. And they got and the guy doing the Kevin Costner is the fake Matthew McConaughey. I call him the fake Matt. I can't remember the actor's name, but he was in the second Poseidon Adventure, the reboot. So,
I only saw it one time.
He was on the TV show. He was on the TV show The Firm.
I only watched Placid.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't.
I got it, Matt.
Thank you.
I wasn't listening. I should have looked up the guy's name before
everyone.
Matt made it funny and no one noticed but me.
Go ahead with your firm.
It was your turn to pay attention to him, not mine.
Oh, I see. Chris.
Yes,
you're saying
Josh Lucas.
Who? Josh Lucas.
Oh, Josh Lucas. Yeah. Okay.
Of
all the things you think of that. Like,
no, he looks like
but he's been in stuff. He was in Secondhand Lions. He was in that Stealth with Jessica Alba.
I didn't see him in Stealth.
Oh, it's not that good.
No. Was he in the Dorito?
I didn't see him in Stealth.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
That's funny as Matt, but
All right.
Well, I try. So yeah, Josh Lucas. I never saw those other two things, but he plays the throwback.
You've never seen Secondhand Lions? You need to see that. That's a good movie.
I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, it's like 2003 with Michael Caine and Robert Duvall. And they're two old curmudgeons living in a house, and their nephew gets dumped on their doorstep, and it's played by Haley Joel Osment, whatever his name is. The kid from Sixth Sense.
So and he saw the dead people.
Yeah, and like they kind of raise him, and it's a cute movie. It's just a good family movie.
You lost me. You lost me at cute.
Well, okay, fine. It's not cute.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah, I recommend it, Jack. It's a good one.
All right. You know what? It looks like a movie I would like because
I think you would like it. I think you would like that.
I like Michael Caine.
Yeah, I mean you have two great classic actors right there.
Yeah, it's good.
I will write that down and put it on my list.
I stumbled across that kind of, it was like one of those Sunday afternoon movies or Saturday, it's like you're just kind of like in this, you put something on or you watch something, you're like, you just get sucked into it. And
Robert Duvall I can't remember the title of the movie. He has a movie out that didn't do very well, but
I think he retired. I think the last thing he did.
No, this is back in the 80s, I think.
Oh, okay.
Robert Duvall. Oh, you don't take a
picture. He plays a picture of me saying Robert Duvall.
He plays a military guy. His family and the kid from
take a picture of me saying Robert Duvall.
the kid that was in Caddyshack, the caddy.
Okay.
He's in it.
I haven't seen that. Oh wait, no.
All American, all hero. Come on, someone in the chat.
I do remember him seeing in the West Point uniform. Yeah, like that guy.
Yeah, he's a hard ass and he's just a dick. Oh, and Robert. Fuck you, man. And what's the actress nobody likes? Her mom.
That's a lot of people.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. That's actually going to be my first guess because I don't like her either.
Her mom is in the movie. What's the name of that movie?
Hey Siri.
It's funny. This is why we need Chris. This is why we need Chris to look up shit.
Yeah.
Hey Siri. Gwyneth Paltrow.
All right, I'm going to look it up because it's bugging me.
Hey Siri, IMDb.
You make one mistake.
Oh, don't I know?
Robert Duvall has been in a lot of shit.
I know. I was just thinking.
The Great Santini, 1979.
Hey Siri, The Great Santini.
Really? That's the name of a movie? Wow. Yeah.
It was originally called The Ace, and they changed it to The Great Santini, if I remember correctly. Matt put it in there. Anyway.
Hey Sherry, that's not all I'm triggering at home. Great Sambrini or Great Santini?
Great Santini.
Well, I like a good sangria just as much as the next person.
And Boomer, the guy that plays the original Boomer from Battlestar Galactica, is in it. Not Grace Park Boomer.
Okay, Boomer, we get it.
All right.
Apparently, every time we say, "Hey
Siri, turn off my lights." Hey Siri, turn my lights on.
We keep fucking with Sherry's.
Hey Siri, turn the TV up.
Usually she's a chatty catty over there, and she didn't speak up until we start triggering all of her. Stuff.
Hey Siri, turn off the refrigerator.
Hey Siri, buy secondhand lions.
Okay. Anyway, The Great Santini is one of those movies that it's just a good old movie.
I'm pulling up The Great Sambrini. So anyway, do you think Robert Duvall is like the Meryl Streep? Like he's just kind of like he's in all of these things and just kind of like, although Meryl Streep is really known, he's kind of more like the backseat driver. Like you don't know he's in this movie until you're like, wham, you're hit on top of the head with a great
Robert Duvall.
It's like you are good.
Wow. No, go ahead, Nick.
Well, I was like Robert Duvall is a great actor. You know, he never got his due. I don't think did he ever win an Academy Award? I don't think he did.
I don't know. Hey Google, look up the
and because like me, I don't think Meryl Streep was a phenomenon until like the late '90s, like because she'd been nominated so many times, and people were like, "Oh my God, she's so good!" You know, because like even though I love her and Kramer versus Kramer and some of her earlier stuff, but I can't think of a lot of Robert Duvall classics though. You know
who was supposed to be? Who was supposed to have the part? Kate Jackson was supposed to be Meryl Streep's part, but Charlie's Angels would not let her out of her contract to do it.
Oh,
there you go. No, that's a great question because when
Matt Treese with the birthday answer, one for Tender Mercies.
Nice.
Okay,
that's a great point because he's really not. Is he the lead actor? He's more of the.
He's more of the lead actor amplifier. He's like one of those
right.
Comes in and makes everyone else better. You know,
right?
Yeah, exactly. I think he's always good at being either the second lead or a co-lead. You know, I've never seen him just on his own be a great
But it's this weird thing though. Like, but if you know that he's cast with these other people, you're like, oh, okay. You know, like it's going to be good. You know, so I don't know.
Is his fault because he's been in great ensemble movies? You mean look at The Godfather 1 and 2,
right?
I mean, take your pick. I mean, there's so many great actors in those movies. That's a great question, Matt.
Well, sounds
like John B. Smith, like Gene Hackman. Like, I mean, Gene Hackman did. You know, he had The French Connection, a few other ones where he was the lead. But yeah, God, did you see a photo of him? Because hasn't acted in 20 years, roughly. And he's turned 92 the other day, and someone posted a photo of him, and like he looks like a 92-year-old now. And you're kind of like, man, like he's aged, you know. But,
he didn't start acting till his late 30s.
Yeah, I can see that. The same as like Alan Rickman was like 38 or 35 in Die Hard. You know, like
Gene Hackman was up for the part of Mike Brady in the Brady Bunch.
Huh?
How would that have changed his career?
Well, a lot.
Yeah. Gene Hackman was up for.
Yeah.
Huh.
He almost got it. He almost got the part of Mike Brady.
That's so. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, was Gene Hackman the star of Poseidon Adventure?
Everyone knows Ernest Borgnine was the star of
Poseidon. Linda, my Linda, you killed my Linda. My Linda.
Speaking of that time period, I always want to know how.
With him anyway.
I always want to know how Charlie and Willy Wonka was cast, because you didn't have much of a part. I mean, really, it was Gene Wilder. I mean, Wilder's film. But the one time he sings in that film is, I've Got a Golden Ticket. The kid is clearly tone deaf. How do you cast a kid who can't sing when it's a musical?
Well, obviously, he never did another film again. I'm going to go work on dogs. I'm going to be a veterinarian.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Well, I mean,
Golden Ticket. I think it's been brought up before, but those 4 old people in that bed, how often did they change the sheets?
Well, that's one of the weirdest things. It's like they're clearly in their 60s in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And so when Grandpa Joe stands up and says, I haven't done this in 20 years. So he got to 40 and just said, fuck it. What the hell?
And there's no Netflix.
Matt said the same thing.
Yeah.
I have.
You're sleeping across from me, and if they haven't gotten up into, do they stink? I mean,
they do.
Are they wearing diapers? What the? Who's changing them? The mom's working nonstop. Charlie had to give up his voice lessons because it's crazy. Yeah, but how did he get cast for the part of Charlie? And literally, that was the only thing he ever did. He didn't.
There's something developing in our chat here. Kim says, John and I love Tender Mercies. And then John chimes in, I've never seen Tender Mercies.
Ooh.
Well, usually that's what we give to Matt every podcast because,
Tender Mercy.
John's just writing foul stuff and then retracting it, apparently, because we don't know what he's saying. Veruca probably did have the most difficult song. That's true.
So before we digress into other things, we were talking about actors, but Christopher Plummer just passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it. I meant to actually, well, it wouldn't have been a good song to sing. But I could have sang Edelweiss. Yeah.
Gene Hackman lapped him.
There's still time. There's still time for you to sing Edelweiss. I mean,
yeah. Well, I might, maybe I'll sing it when you finally finish Man in the High Castle.
John's nuts. John's nuts or John's.
I don't know. I think Kim's just messing with us because she just showed us these nuts.
I thought she showed us John's nuts.
So that's also
to me.
That could also be a Willy Wonka reference too, though.
If you like peanuts, have you tried out the PeaCOCK? A lot of people are calling it just the cock.
Just the cock, yeah.
I prefer just the tip. So
they have a lot of stuff on their streaming. The Office is on there.
I bought The Office. I
didn't buy The Office. Why should I buy it when I can stream it?
But I bought it when it was like $30. It was at $30.
Hey, I'm not rich, Matt. Okay. I'm not making a fortune off this podcast like you.
Yeah, babysitting money. What are you talking about?
All that babysitting money that you're sitting on, man.
Exactly. Babysitters rate nowadays got to be at least $12 an hour.
Well, now my daughter, my youngest one.
You said rate, not rape, right?
Rate, yes.
Okay. I just want to clarify that for the record.
Where is your head tonight, Matt?
Matt, have you had a beer?
Just to have
you know when Matt's had a beer, he's out of control.
I did have a haircut.
So. Yeah, I could tell. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get one tomorrow afternoon.
They're giving Alex a haircut.
Good, hippie.
I said I'm jealous because he has the best fucking hair. I gotta tell you,
But the thing is that
he's
gonna have great hair until he's like 27. Because a kid with that good of hair, you know he's gonna lose it. That's what happened to you too, Jack.
Yeah, I know. I've said it before. People see my old photos and they go, "Oh, it must kill you. Your hair is just you don't have your hair anymore because you have great hair." I go, "Yeah, just keep talking. I have my health. I don't even have that. What the fuck am I talking
about?" So
John says 100% he has never seen the movie Tender Mercies.
I haven't either because I would have known. I would have known if I'd seen it that he would have won for it.
Well, John, someone saw Tender Mercies with
because you know what?
Kim's admitting her mistake.
I was thinking of Open Range.
Yeah,
that's another Kevin Costner film.
Yeah, so Kevin Costner, unsung hero, overrated Hollywood.
I like Kevin Costner.
I like Kevin. I think he got cocky, like a lot of people do in that industry. I think he kind of shot himself in the foot in the mid '90s, but he kind of recovered from it somewhat. I mean, he's had a successful career.
I think Waterworld. I like Waterworld. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but
but it's not just. I liked Waterworld, but the thing is that it starts roughly with Tombstone, because he was cast as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. He did not like where they were taking it, and so he quit, and then it went to Val Kilmer, and that's why he chose to make Wyatt Earp. And so that just showed his arrogance right there of like, I can make a better film. Then you have him not listening to Spielberg, who Spielberg told him not to shoot Waterworld on open water, do it all on set. He didn't listen, and it cost them the money, and he got panned because of it. And then you have The Postman. You have a lot of missteps in the 90s that really cost him like his leading man superstar status. Now, there's a lot of films I like his, like Tin Cup and some other ones he did later that I think are really great.
The one I hate the most is Remember the Game with Kelly Preston.
No, For the Love of the Game.
For the Love of the Game. I called it For the Love of the Game because I went there thinking it was going to be a baseball movie. And I love Kelly Preston. She was great. And Kevin Costner. Both. And when I went there, I go, oh, my God, how long till this movie's over? It's so fucking boring. It's all for that payoff, movie.
Though. That's the thing. It's all for the last, 10 minutes of the film.
It doesn't do any good if I'm sleeping.
Yeah. Because it does make sense, how much he loved the game, his whole life, and then the fact that I thought it was classy the way he wrote that on the ball. I thought
to be fair, it's Kelly. It was Kelly Preston, so right. That's who he ends up leaving the game for. Am I remember this correctly? I've only seen it once. I only saw it in the theater.
He was one of the basically he's like Nolan Ryan. He's like one of the greatest pitchers of all time, and he just keeps going because.
No, I'm sorry. I know Nolan Ryan. He is no Nolan Ryan.
Okay.
I wouldn't say Nolan Ryan's the greatest pitcher of all time either.
Did I say he was all time? He's like one of those legends. Nolan Ryan was a great pitcher.
Yeah. Oh, he was a fantastic pitcher.
He
was on some bad teams, so his record.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Doesn't reflect.
I got to see him. It's actually one of the games I was really proud. I got to see him pitch when he was with the Astros versus
Astros.
I think it was the Royals because I got to see Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was on the other team, and I was like,
I never saw Bo Jackson live because you bring up Bo Jackson and people this weekend on Twitter were, you can say Tom Brady's a GOAT, but don't say he's the greatest athlete of all time. Mm-hmm. I think I'm a better athlete than him. I have more mobility than Tom. I mean, come on, Tom Brady's not. He's not.
I got you.
I'm just saying.
Well, he's not out of the pocket runner. Yeah, that's for sure.
No, he's a great pocket passer, but Bo Jackson was the greatest athlete.
Oh yeah, between Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker, those are probably the two greatest.
But Herschel Walker was just great Bo Jackson was great at Major League Baseball and football. Yeah. I mean, he could have been. Unfortunately, he's not a Hall of Fame in either one because he got injured. But he could have been if he just would have concentrated on football, he's a Hall of Famer. If he just concentrated on baseball, definitely he would have broke some records because he did things that nobody else could do. And Bo knows hockey.
No.
That's a great commercial.
That was a good commercial.
Yeah. That still sticks with me.
Yeah, because when you're actually going, no.
Yeah,
and a commercial that educates too, because when you hear Bo, you don't know diddly, you're like, I gotta find out more about this Bo Diddley guy.
Bo Diddley.
Yeah.
So
I did like Budweiser's commercial. I only saw it for a reason because they brought out all the old classics. They even brought the Bud Bowl. If you saw they're going through the portal or whatever, you see the little bottles walking with the helmets. I was like, oh, this is the Bud Bowl. Which for anyone does not remember the early '90s, they always had Bud Bowl commercials where it was Bud Light versus Budweiser.
Yeah, I do remember those, especially as a kid. I mean, you're like, I don't drink, but this is fun.
Yeah. I used to like the Clydesdale. He's getting
the Clydesdale. Exactly. Apparently, I haven't gone to see them, but because the main Budweiser facility is in St. Louis, but the other one's here in Fort Collins, and they do home the Clydesdales here a lot because it's a colder environment for them. So.
Kim mentions Open Range, Costner, Duvall, and Annette Bening. Now,
Annette Bening, she did a good job on that one. Yeah,
a little bit of trivia here for you people. Annette Bening and Mark Hamill went to the same high school. I don't know at the same time, They went to the same high school. And I went to that high school, just saying. But anyway, it's just a little trivia there for you.
Annette Bening, Robert Duvall, and Kevin Costner.
I've seen Open Range.
You haven't seen it, Matt? It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch.
I just was sharing the screen there just for
sharing the screen. I did watch both Mighty Ducks movies last week.
Oh, okay.
There's three actually. There's three.
Well, okay. I gotta say the second one is just it's just stupid.
It's stupid.
The knuckle. Well, you have the scene where what's Keenan? What's his name? What's his last name? Keenan.
Keen, Keen. Yeah.
He's the knuckle puck kid.
Yeah.
Bombay calls a timeout because they're covering the Iceland team's covering him so close. Suddenly he's able to change into goalie gear in the span of a timeout. And if you've ever played hockey and see it literally takes a goalie like 45 minutes to get dressed because the equipment it's bulky and stuff like that. So then he takes his helmet off to shoot the knuckle puck to say it's knuckle puck time. Once you take your helmet off, that's the penalty.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about doing a video on it because
of all the things, though, I mean, it's the Bad News Bears too. That's what it is. I mean, because like you're struggling with a local team in the first film. All of a sudden, you're playing on an international level. Give me a break.
Yeah, you're that good that you can. Yeah.
And let me tell you something for everybody. That Iceland doesn't even play hockey, people. Okay, like it would have made more sense if it was Norway or Russia or Poland, but no, you choose Iceland because there's ice in the title. They don't even play hockey in Iceland, so whatever.
I like it, Jack. I mean, you could do a Robert Duvall video, but I like how you're getting to the nitty gritty of like what's wrong. What's wrong?
Because in the first one where Charlie takes the penalty shot,
of
course does the triple deke. He takes off his helmet. You can't be out there without a helmet. You have to have a helmet on.
Yeah, it's the 90s, man. You don't know, man. It was like a lifetime ago.
Reaction, yeah.
News
change, man. You don't know, man.
Yeah, those kids were hard back then. Okay, you could just play with no helmet.
Yeah,
it's like necessary roughness when that guy grew up playing playing rugby, and he tells the coach, he's like, no pads for me, coach, and then he goes out there and he gets drilled, by a guy wearing a helmet and pads and knocks him unconscious.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. I was thinking the same thing. I go, these kids barely beat the Hawks.
Yeah, they barely beat the Hawks.
And the Hawks, what color were the Hawks wearing?
Black.
And
silver.
What team was Team Iceland wearing?
Black. It's budget, yeah.
Hey, real quick, though.
Yes.
And then Bombay has his career rule. He's in the minors, one step away, and some guy hits him in his knee. Anyway, big sissy, get up.
So do you still have post-traumatic stress from watching Emilio Estevez not skate?
I as I watched it, he does skate straight. He does pull off going straight. Mm-hmm. But like the scene where he's rollerblading and he's like 6'9", and it's like, okay, that's not him because he's keeping his head down like this. Come on, how hard is it to anyway? Yeah, it does bug me, but quack 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 quack. We will quack you.
Chris in the chat wanted me to Google. What?
Yeah, you don't want to see what he looks like today. Poor guy.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. Well, apparently he's recovered and all out and doing good now.
Oh, okay. So that was a sad thing. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. Well, what's really going to blow my mind is when they finally release this Disney Plus Mighty Ducks series. Is that Emilio Estevez hasn't acted in probably 25 years, and then to see someone age, because it's like, when's the last time you saw Emilio Estevez? You're like, holy shit! Like, what happened to Emilio?
To be fair, he didn't act in the first two either.
That's true.
By the way, that's kind of how I felt when I was watching the Puppy Bowl over the weekend. So
the dogs got old.
No.
Dogs are
these puppies just aren't puppies like they were puppies when I was a kid.
That's just so sad.
Anyway,
What I was going to say, though, is Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart were the hosts of the Puppy Bowl this year.
Oh, they really did have the Puppy Bowl.
Yeah, they have the Puppy Bowl. And so, it was on Discovery Plus, I guess, was the app. So I did the 7-week free trial so that we could watch the Puppy Bowl. And
are you kidding me?
What?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, judge you for something I didn't hear it either.
Because I signed up for Discovery Plus.
Okay.
For 1 week.
The Puppy Bowl.
Just to watch the Puppy Bowl. It's for my kids. They want to watch it. I watched the Puppy Bowl. I got bored after a while, but they are cute. There's
no hard hits. That's why, that's what's great about having a bowl. Is that you have the beauty.
Some of the dogs in
you want some of the viciousness too. You just want
right.
Now, did one of the puppies throw an interception? But it's like a Tom Brady puppy dog.
No, what they do is they take the little chew toy and they have to drag it into the end zone and they score a touchdown. And there's the rough.
So they don't even do it themselves? What the hell?
No. The dogs do it. It's all dogs.
Are they the same dogs? Are they mixed?
No. It's different dogs each year. But are you kidding me? You guys have never seen the Puppy Bowl?
No, I haven't seen it because I have a life.
You're missing out.
I have a life.
You're missing out.
I mean, I watched it the year that Michael Vick hosted the Puppy Bowl.
Oh, that's sick. There is a Kitten Bowl, but I didn't pay for it.
Is that too soon?
Kim brings up a good point. Gee, Snoop Dogg's on every show these days. It's true. Is there anyone more famous for having one good record over 25 years ago and has not done anything since?
Well, to be fair, he had his reality show.
He did. Okay.
He's just cool. I mean, he's
a cool dude. I'm not knocking.
He could
Smash Mouth. One good record.
Hey, I love Smash Mouth.
I know. I'm just going for the the things that you like. Yeah, I mean, you're shitting on the Puppy Bowl. Hey, by the way,
I'm not. Did a puppy shit in the Puppy Bowl?
I think so. There was one scene where they show this dog, and I swear the dog looks like it did something wrong because it's just cowering there, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not even cute. You think it did something, and it doodled in the corner. It's giving you the look like, please don't beat me.
Put down the newspaper, son.
Yeah, it's funny though because they all interact and tussle and you get kind of.
I mean, do they have it broke down properly? Do they have greyhounds as wide receivers, and huskies, or not huskies, but bulldogs as linemen or something?
No. It's just a random mix of different puppies and different.
You get pit bulls or
there are
pit bulls. Pit bulls would be running back. No,
pit bulls would be the defensive end. I mean,
that's a good one. Yeah,
roughing the passer.
Well, there is a ref that'll come in and break up.
Is it a puppy ref?
No, but that would be really funny though. It would also be really funny if it was a human dressed up like a puppy in a ref outfit.
So we're already making this halftime.
It would be so much better. Yeah, you'd have to have shepherds, some kind of Australian shepherd or something to be the refs because they're the ones that's going to be controlling shit. Little
cheerleaders.
Yeah, they do have cheerleaders.
The poodles as cheerleaders.
Gotcha. They don't specify. It's all different kinds of breeds, but they do put them in little mini tutu skirts, and then they kind of prance around for the cheerleader part.
So now I know why you're watching it. You watch it for your bitches.
I do not watch it for those bitches. I watch it for the game.
Sherry posted that thing. Did you guys watch that video Sherry posted on the bitches?
The what?
What's those two guys? Not Penn and Teller.
Oh, yeah. No, Key and Peele.
Yeah, he posted a bit of them doing talking about their wives. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, bitch. Yeah, I said, bitch.
It's one of the best.
It's so fun. And then they go to outer space. You use the word bitch. Yeah.
I used the word.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? It was funny.
Yeah,
because really you know that you can't say that.
No,
Like, no,
that should never be used by men ever. Really, like men should be stricken from using any foul language or something. I would not talk like that ever. So.
No, you have a basement. He was going.
Yeah, you have a basement.
I do.
I'm sure there were some select words when Mousers had his way with you.
I think it was just fuck.
That was roughing. That was roughing the passer. And Mouser would be a good.
Oh my gosh, man! Like I still think about that. Like that was more painful than the car accident. Car accident more psychologically traumatizing.
I'd be more psyched out over the cat.
But I did find out today that what the settlement check is, or not settlement check, but however much the damage of the truck will be.
Oh, okay.
Because the truck was totaled, which is what I want.
What? Really? Oh, well, it was old. You said it was, yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, just like all of the side damage, like basically from bumper to bumper, there would have to be actual like physical work done. And then she hit the little step up rail, the foot rail, which, as I've said, I think that's what allowed her to kind of glance off. Had that not been there, because that was some steel that was bent on that thing. Had that not been there, I think she would have came in further to where my son was sitting. So,
look at plastic or something.
There are so many lucky things about that whole accident, and not that the money will compensate for any of that, but it does help us like move on and just be able to get a new vehicle. But it was funny because they were like, well, it would be this much, but we took $350 off for prior damage to the vehicle. And Denise and I, we were just like, only $350? Okay.
They must not have listened to my podcast about the tree.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's funny how you mentioned total, because I've been Jay years ago when he was just started college. He wanted to borrow my truck because I just got brand new tires on it, and I just paid the fucking thing off. Just paid it off early. I go, yeah, you can. Yeah, I know it's right, because his tires were bald. I said, I've been telling you, get new tires. Anyway, so he gets in there. Some car hits the medium, bounces back, flips over, he runs into it.
Oh,
and luckily he was alive. The whole thing. And it's funny that you said they held money back. They gave us because I go, so you're going to total it? Really? I go, I just paid it off. They go, right. Can I have the tires back? They go, no. I go, I just bought those tires. I go, can I? They go, no. I go, this sucks. I go, this is just bullshit. And they held money back because I was big back then. No, we're not suing. We're not going to sue. Fuck it. Because they ripped it. They took $1,000 from us, because then they came back and said there was no one to blame. I said, this guy is on his cell phone, bouncing all over the place, hitting all these cars.
Right.
And so I said, all right, from that point on, if I'm in an accident, I'll sue. But we had a Suburban, and we had just paid it off. And I got in an accident where I got T-boned by a Dodge Ram early in the morning, going to work Friday morning.
Yeah.
And I go, whatever you do, I don't want it totaled. It looks like, I go, just this thing. I said, this was damaged. I go, this was already damaged. They go, sure. I go, yes, this was already damaged. And it came in under like $150 from being totaled.
Wow.
I just paid it off. I go,
yeah,
I won't get what I paid for it. And then about a year later, we got rid of it anyway, but it started to die. But
well, I'm definitely getting what I paid for it and more out of it. So that's great, since it was kind of a family gift payment through my dad. There was a little bit of trading between my dad. There's some a little bit of cash given, but not nearly as much as what we're going to get back for the truck. So that's a benefit, because then we can put that to a new vehicle and move on with. But we lucked out because our insurance that covers for not uninsured motorists, we didn't have a deductible.
Oh, that's nice.
There was no like, oh, you got to pay this much in order to get this much. It was just like flat out like, this is what you get. And unfortunately we have the rental until next Tuesday, which is nice. Like they could have been like, okay, and you got to turn this over on Friday once we get cut the check, but he bumped it for the weekend. So anyway.
Yeah, insurance is good, because my time hop, I don't know if you guys do time hop. A year ago, we had this storm come through and rips the tiles off our roof on some spots. So we called the thing of, we got a whole new roof for nothing.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. I said, and we needed one because it was 18 years, 19, whatever it's been.
Oh,
so,
it's been a long time. Yeah.
Been a long time. So I go, so I don't have a deduct. They go, no. I go, all right, just let's do that one. So I got a whole new, all new shingles for. But the thing is, it's been a year. Well, it's been about 10 months. The nails, I'm still finding them.
Oh yeah. Oh,
he went around with his little metal detector, and I go, I just found 5 yesterday.
That's great for the grandkids.
Yeah, I tell them, I go, no, don't walk here, don't walk here, don't walk here. I'm like, so yeah, I go, how many fucking nails did they use?
Oh, yeah.
Did they just throw them on top of the? Oh fuck, we don't need these. We'll just throw them because they blow eyes. It's crazy, and they're about, they're pretty big.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
anyway.
I've had my own private health insurance, since I was like 22 or something like that. And just speaking of deductible, I have a $300 deductible, and especially for a diabetic, that's unheard of.
Oh,
and because I didn't become diabetic until I was 28, but so I was lucky that I bought my own when I was really younger. But
that radioactive spider.
I do.
No, you got bit by it.
Yeah. But since I turned 40, though, my monthly cost, went up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well, if you put your deductible up to $500 now, we'll knock off like $60 a month." I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll cover that deductible like in my first month. That's like no problem."
Insurance sucks. I mean, yeah. Cindy has terrible insurance, but just all we can do is look.
I hate it. It's the worst. And I think the shitty thing about it is that you pay insurance because you're like, oh, this is going to protect me for when I do have a problem. You pay and pay and pay. And as soon as that year's up or whatever, it's like, that's it. You lose that money. Game over, man. We won. We beat you.
That's what I think Jerry Seinfeld had a joke like that was like, because technically insurance is gambling. It's like, I'm betting you that I get sick, and you're betting I don't. So if I don't get sick, shouldn't I get some of this money back? Like, shouldn't I?
Right, exactly.
It's what the hell? And
well, remember when I fell and hit my face and had how long ago was that? 2-3 years ago?
Seems like it. Yeah.
Oh,
either way,
when you scared us to death.
Yeah.
That was like
I had insurance, but the first place we went to didn't like my insurance. It wasn't good enough for them. So after they did some tests, they did a CAT scan, they did all this. I had to take an ambulance to another hospital that liked my insurance. Mm-hmm. I go, but I'm going to be charged for the ambulance ride, right? They go, yeah. I go, can't my son just drive me? They go, no. I go, but
yeah.
So I had to pay so much of that.
It's called hospital robbery.
Yeah, so then I get to the
highway robbery, except just involving a hospital.
I get to the other hospital, and they start giving me more tests.
I just had the test.
I just had a CAT scan. They go, well, we'd like to do our own. I'm laying there with my lip had been sewn up by then, but it's like, it's such a scam. They just what this one hospital was telling me, we can't milk your insurance company like you want to, so we're going to send you over here so they can milk your insurance company. And like I said, my part of the bill was ridiculous, so I can't imagine what the total cost was. It was it was just like, I mean,
this is where you should become Joe Pesci and say, because they fuck you at the hospital.
Fuck you at the hospital.
$30 for a fucking aspirin? Are you? This was in the 90s, when he said that. So.
Anyway, so obviously we need a new healthcare system, but that's just.
But going back to you talking about like how you bought new tires, and because they totaled it, you could. It's like it's such bullshit. It's just like, why can't I have my fucking tires?
Literally, it hadn't even been a month.
Yeah,
and I think it's a couple weeks.
It's like, it's the same as like, when you go to the post office or UPS or FedEx or whatever, and and they have like, oh, like you're guaranteed $100 of insurance on this, but you can buy more depending on the price or whatever it is you're shipping and all this. It doesn't matter if, like, because my example of this is that I bought, because I love antiques, and I bought a World War. Huh?
By Matt.
Yeah, it's true. It's illegal though. Years ago, I bought a World War II bonds poster. One of those. The thing was like 60-something years old, and the guy who sent it to me was probably a dumbass. But when I got it in, it looked like a freaking hockey stick because like the post office had bent the package, and I pulled it out, and it wasn't ripped, thank God. But it did have creases in it and things like that. And I was like,
"That's what you said."
Yeah, I was like, well, okay, I need to claim the insurance on it because they damaged it. It's not my fault; they damaged it. And when I went to them, I said, "Oh yeah, you can claim the price, for all this." He goes, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And so I thought I'd get the money and I'd get to keep my poster. No, that's not the way it works. It's like, no, if you claim the insurance, they keep the poster, they keep everything. And I'm like, this is 60-something years. You think I can just find another one of these things? I can't find another one of these things. It's old. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what are you going to do with it? It's like, oh, we'll incinerate it. And I'm like, fine, fuck it. I'll just eat it. I'll keep it. And luckily I found someone who dealt with like old things like that and they could fix it. They smoothed it out for me. But it's just like, fuck, are you serious? You would burn a piece of history? Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
That's what they do.
We don't care. No. In USA, we take your things. One thing in the U.S., though, they do like more commercials. So we're at a crossroads here. We either shut this shit down.
Yeah, sorry, there was one thing. Sorry, John, the UPS guy. He says, professional tip, always get the insurance, which is true. Not that I'm insulting UPS, but I'm just saying.
Those guys deliver packages?
Oh, UPS is spot on sometimes.
I never have been paid for my UPS damage packages. Sorry, John, the UPS guy. I think it's just my UPS. I
was able to get a claim for a guy when I had my mailbox store for fruit. He said his fruit was delivered bruised, and I was able to get.
Oh my gosh!
Give him that. This guy was nuts too. This guy. It's funny. I never had anything break that I packed, except when Cindy moved out here. I was still in California. Let me send you the TV. Well, the TV broke.
Right.
The only thing that ever was the TV, and so we got insurance for that. But
it's like I actually felt sorry for the guys. Like the company that I hired to move me from California to Colorado were highly rated, but then they subleased the move out of California to Colorado, and I did not know that. I had thought that they were going to do the whole thing, but I felt sorry for the people that moved it here because when I opened up the truck, all the boxes had fallen, and were just scattered throughout the truck, and some of them were ripped and all this. And when the guy actually gives me the form to rate and review their performance, I just want to look at the guy like, are you serious? Like, you think I'm going to give you something good after half my shit's like sprawled out throughout your truck? Like, it's just, tie the shit up. Like, what the hell? I thought you guys are professionals.
Yeah, it's when I know I told this story before. When we moved out here, Dale came with us, Warm Taffy.
Of course. Oh yeah, you couldn't get rid of him.
No, couldn't. It was like a boomerang. And so we knew we were like moving for like 2.5 months. I said, "Are you packing your stuff?" He goes, "Yeah." Because we paid for him. We paid for the move out here. And it was so much space in the truck that it was one of those self things where you put it in there. I took the tables apart. I put packed it just nice and. He has these shot glasses, like 100 shot glasses. I go, what's in here? He goes, I go, this is never going to make it. He had all this stuff that he didn't pack. Well, we lost his ski poles came lodged, went right through our couch. He bought us a new couch because and none of all his stuff damaged our stuff. Nothing of his broke. Nothing. Yeah. In fact, we had the boxes in the garage, and I had taken the picture frames out. He put a 50-pound box up and smashed all our picture frames. And I go, anyway, that's Warm Taffy.
Matt, I've actually have seen that painting. That's in LACMA. It's in It's in Los Angeles County Museum of Art. That painting.
Is that French?
Yeah, it's by Magritte. It says, this is not
learning.
In French, it says this is not a pipe.
Yeah.
So
I've learned.
I think of this as like the first meme.
I've learned a few more words in French. La pizza is pizza.
Oh, nice.
Is croissant. So there you go.
Croissant is actually Turkish, though.
What do you think?
I don't make the fucking rules, Nick.
I'm going to give you a French word. I just want to see if you know what it means. Escargot.
Snail.
Wow, I think you're learning French, man.
Something I won't eat.
There are snails on her plate.
What about
there are so many snails you can't even see the food?
Don't look. Bring us that stuff you talked us out.
Oui. What does that mean?
Yes.
Okay. All right. See?
It's not spelled with a W, though.
Oui.
I have my French app right here. Let's see.
Hi.
I haven't opened up in a while. Let's see here. We got.
Hi.
Oh. Here,
hi.
See? You hear it?
Hi.
You hear it? La pizza. Oh, let's do orange. Okay, I gotta go to the next one. Okay. Which is the orange?
L'orange.
Do you hear it?
Can you do Robert Duvall?
No, I can't do Robert Duvall.
Oh.
Le croissant. La orange.
Le croissant.
Le croissant.
Le croissant.
Un croissant et une orange.
The croissant and the orange. There you go. So I'm learning, Matt, thanks to your app. I just play with it.
I enjoy playing with the app as well. So
Bia.
A lot of times I play
Bia is beer.
Bia?
Yeah.
Bia is beer.
Bia.
Bia.
Give me a Bia.
You still drinking that 1884, huh?
1664.
16, yeah, right. I can't remember. 1664,
This was a beer I would drink in Europe.
Yeah, it's great. It's great in France. I don't like it so much over here, though.
Well, I got it in Switzerland, and I go, okay, I'll try it. I go, oh my God, this is good. Then I drank on the train from Switzerland to France because it was so damn cold, which makes a good beer. So yeah, I can't wait to go back there someday when the pandemic is over in probably 20 years. And
yeah, you can't go anywhere.
No, they're in total shutdown. And
apparently, we can't go anywhere with this podcast. What I was going to say,
we've been going for an hour and 37 minutes. What are you talking about?
Usually I cut it short, so we jump over to the patrons bonus, but we have a larger crowd tonight, and I just figured.
Yes, is that Shandy?
That's not it. I think it's because Colleen clarified finally our time restrictions.
What do you mean?
Because we can go an hour and a half now with only one commercial.
We can. But we're beyond an hour and a half now.
Yeah, so we have to add another one in, yeah.
Maybe you guys can go an hour and a half, but I'm older.
I'm just confused as to how many commercials we have to put in after an hour.
I can only take so many blue pills.
22 or
no. So she said it's just one for an hour and a half, and then another one past an hour and a half, and then I think after 2 hours is when it gets ridiculous.
Okay, so we're on the clock now, and
yeah.
I just want to say that let's put in another commercial break.
Okay.
And that was a doozy. Thank you, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
L'orange.
The bread, the loaf, the poulet.
But you got to admit, though, they make the best bread.
Who?
Yeah.
The French.
French.
How have you know the Japanese make the best of everything? You got Kobe beef. You got good beer. You got everything.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. So, hi.
I actually had some dumplings last Friday. Fucking
chicken?
awesome. No, I had mix. I had some that were pork, I had some that were chicken, and something that were spicy. Like I love me some good dumplings.
You still can't get beef here.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like we got a whole like at my local Kroger, you could walk in and get a brisket, like a huge gigantic thing.
Get a basket.
No, it was like a huge hack back of the.
We went to Subway today because we just want something quick, and I looked. I go, still no roast beef.
Well, there's no Subway is all turkey. It's all turkey. It's just flavored.
Well, I didn't. I was going to get a tuna sandwich, and I forgot that that's not really tuna.
Yeah, it's not tuna. Yeah, it's just mayo and a bunch of shit. Yeah.
It's probably dolphin.
Yeah.
You know what it is?
Fucking real.
Subway has a deal with dolphin paper. The parts they don't use, they make tuna fish out of.
I can see it. I mean, it's probably just all the fins. The fins, because like they're yeah.
I actually did have tuna salad last week. My wife had made some tuna, or no, not tuna. It was salmon. Sorry. So she had made some salmon, and it was like the way she had cooked it. It was just a little dry, and I was like, well, "Why don't we just make some like, you know, like a
wait, whoa.
Wait, yeah. I want to clarify this. Wait, who made it?
Denise,
your wife.
Your wife made it, and you complained?
No, I did not. I waited for her to.
I heard a complaint. Did you hear a complaint?
Yeah,
I heard a complaint.
You weren't.
It's a little dry.
I heard it's dry, and then she didn't smack you over the head or like take a trapper keeper to your face or something.
Make it yourself next time.
I waited until she made the comment that it was dry, and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right."
No.
Oh, so you doubled down. She's just being nice and trying to be a little humble, and then you just threw her under the car? What the hell, Matt?
No, as he was putting it in the trash can. Yeah, I thought it was dry too.
Yeah.
No, I actually finished what was on my plate, and then I was like, "Hey, why don't we just use the rest of it?"
Mousers would eat it. Yeah.
You really agreed with her that it was dry?
It was a little dry. I mean, the last time she made it, though, it was like perfect. It was like buttery falling apart in your mouth, like just perfect. So, you know,
twice in a row, so you
hey, anytime she makes something, I'm just pleased as pie. So
so she doesn't cook very often. So this is
no, you're just turning this whole shit. You know, I will shut this show down. That's it. Thanks, patrons, for making this show.
Well, John, the UPS guy, just put in a request. He said he wanted to talk. He wanted to hear some Star Wars talk because it just flows. John.
It does smooth.
It just flows smooth with the Star Wars talk.
No, actually, the Star Wars talk is dry.
And that's why they eventually had to cut Gina Carano.
I just realized that Luke Skywalker and Ezra Bridger have the same birthday.
That's right, they do.
Who's Edward
and Princess Leia? They were both born on
Empire Day.
Yeah. So you're in the rewatch of Rebels right now.
Yeah, because I only watched Rebels as it aired, and so while watching it, you know, and it's not as bad as I remembered it. You know, now that I kind of get it.
Sure.
So I was like,
you kind of see some of like what they were doing with the first season, where you're like, okay, there's this part.
Yeah,
like the first 6 episodes almost have an arc. You see some of like what they were doing with the first season, where you're like, okay, there's this part.
Hey, we're live.
What the hell, man?
Just unmute the YouTube channel.
I'm just gonna mute Jack. I mean, that's painful.
He doesn't realize he's still.
I know it's the best part. So we're now putting John to sleep. Good night, sweetheart, but it's time for Star Wars.
Boom, 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 boom.
I saw Jack. He just did it. Okay, Jack, you're unmuted.
Okay, now you can talk, Jack.
Was that Shauna Na? Was that?
No, it's from 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh, no, it's from a.
I mean, it is a song, yeah, but that's when I remembered. I think of 3 Men and a Baby.
It was from a TV show.
Hey, you know what this show is? It's 3 hosts and a baby that's sleeping. Am I right?
Come on, is Matt Treat still with us, or do you go celebrate his birthday?
I would hope that Treat is celebrating it anyway.
He just showed up for the birthday wishes.
I heard that Eric gave him his compression sock for fun.
Slightly used.
Happy birthday, man!
No.
Yeah, I mean, John the UPS guy said he saw Shauna Na in Reno.
But am I right? The TV show used to end with that's how they.
Oh, speaking of TV shows that end with sha-na-na-na, what about WandaVision this week, huh?
I haven't finished it yet.
I'm still on the fence. I mean, people are really liking it. I'm still just kind of like.
I like how it's opened up, and I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm enjoying it just for the mystery. And I had no aspirations going into it. So I'm like, whatever I'm getting is like, this is cool. Like I bought Disney Plus for The Mandalorian and all the Star Wars stuff. So any of the Marvel things, like I'm always just kind of like, okay.
I like how you spoiled me.
You like what, Jack?
Wasn't it you that spoiled me, Nick?
On what?
On the
WandaVision?
Yeah.
In what way?
You told me who the person was on the show.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you, Chris?
I'm not a spoiler.
We haven't talked about that, and please do not.
Wait. I haven't got to that part yet.
You're like, wait, I have this tweet right here from this friend.
No. There's Nick's ballot from California.
Yep. So for everyone out there, I left California 2 years ago, and I received a ballot today for the California elections. So that's a bit scary sometimes when you're like, I don't even live there.
But hey, guess what? The Libertarian Party in California just got an extra vote.
You got an extra vote, yeah. So now you have 2.
I'm looking. I still can't find because there's so much crap on this.
Yeah.
Well, all of those Republicans that defected in California got to go somewhere, right?
I guess. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think the Libertarian Party is really big in California. California's got a really interesting way they vote about things because it's not like traditional, it's narrowed down. So like whoever it doesn't matter. Like if there's like 5 Democrats or 5 Republicans running, the top 2 people who get the most votes are actually on the ballot. So you could have 2 Democrats or 2 Republicans or whatever running. I'm like, oh, that's a different way of doing it. It's.
I know the former mayor of San Diego wants to be the governor of California. He's a Republican, and all Charger fans are like going, "Fuck you! You're part of the reason why the Chargers left. You're not going to get my vote." Every time he posts something on Twitter, all the Charger fans come out and just blast him. It's like he said, "I'm going to bridge together," and someone said, "Why don't you bridge my team back?" Because he really didn't. He wasn't. It was a clusterfuck with everything. I mean, Dean Spanos is ultimately to blame, but he didn't do anything either. I mean, I think they were just tired of the Chargers always fucking them over, the taxpayers, but still.
Real quick to circle back to your Rebels talk, though.
Mm-hmm. I tried, people. I tried.
Where are you on your Rebels?
I just finished episode 9, I think.
Okay, yeah. So you're still in the
season 1. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, I knocked out a lot of season 1. Yeah.
Your text earlier this week said something about like.
I hate to interrupt this. It was Chris. I apologize, Nick.
See.
Oh, Chris spoiled you on it.
Yeah, Chris does that. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I even wrote spoiler on something he did not too long ago. I was like, hey, watch it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the guest cameo as it is, and it's kind of a fun thing right now where my son and I are trying to guess who it might be. And
you're on the chat. You didn't see it?
No, I didn't, and I'm not going back to look at it because I didn't see any of that.
Well, I have your number. I'll send it directly to you.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Are you sure? It sounds like you want to know.
I'm sure. Sometimes
I see those stress lines. Your forehead's got those because you don't know who it is.
Sometimes, no, the bags under my eyes and the stress lines, that's just from living in the pandemic world.
Well, I'm trying to ease your.
I really don't want to fucking know, and I'm glad that I didn't get spoiled while reading our own little message group chat. So, yes.
Yeah, Robert Duvall was great.
John, the UPS guy, Robert Duvall was great in Colors. Way to pull back out of Star Wars talk.
He was great in Falling Down,
It's been a while since I've seen that one. Yeah, Falling Down is great, yeah. It's definitely a 90s movie that's forgotten and underrated. We've talked about that before, though.
My wife and my family always compared me to Michael Douglas in that movie.
I could see it. Yeah.
And
they said I was the Falling Down guy.
And the closing song at the end of Colors was so awesome because Colors.
Good night, sweetheart.
What was your question, Matt, though? You started to say something to me about Rebels.
Oh, you had said
God, nobody wants to hear it.
You had said something to the effect of the budget, like going from Clone Wars.
Oh yeah,
season.
Because I did. I watched the Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to finally finish all of them, but I was like, I'm going to watch them all. And as soon as you finish season 7, which aired in
Superbowl halftime show,
2020 or 2019, all right. But the budget for the last season of Clone Wars was huge. And the animation is so good. Mm-hmm. And Clone Wars season 7 to go to season 1 Rebels after that, you're like, holy cow! It's like it's like a professional artist comparing it to a 5-year-old's drawings. You're right. Like, what the hell is going on? Like,
but then if you
right here, he can hear you insulting his art.
But if you look at like the beginning of Clone Wars versus the beginning of Rebels, you're like, holy shit. I'm sure. Like the miles that they go, and especially even within Rebels, like
now I see why Chris begs out of the show.
Chris, because he's a rare person on Owen and Bruce. When he's on it, it's the Chris show. Because he's going to get everything he wants to talk out. And then after that, he's like, okay, I'm done. See y'all later.
Ooh, right.
See you in like another 6 months.
Right. Robert Duvall was in The Natural.
He was. He was the snooping reporter, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as much as I like The Natural, did you see that the Bad Batch, the rumors that it's coming out this spring?
Oh, I did not.
I had seen something on Twitter that said that it's coming this spring.
With Gino Gran Torino.
No, she was not even part of the Bad Batch. The Bad Batch,
that's her new nickname is the Bad Batch. Yeah, I got you.
The Bad Batch is what's left in that compression socks.
She was in the movie with Clint Eastwood, right? Gino Gran Torino.
Oh, no, gotcha. Okay.
I see what you're saying.
She was in Starsky and Hutch.
I just have to say that we are reaching critical mass here because we're almost at 2 hours, and I know that Jack likes to take up at least 5 hours of interrupting me at the end of this show. So, don't give me that smirk. Come on. It's me.
It's huge. Gina Matt Carruthers. I don't know where I got that. I had a beer, Matt. I'm you. I had a beer.
I did it. Nobody can take it away from me. So no Patron show tonight. You don't get to see my lovely, Patron bonus show artwork.
That's why you need to join us live, people. We're doing it live.
We did this bonus extended long episode tonight. Mainly because I think Chris wasn't here.
Because Chris wasn't here, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because really, when Nick, Jack, and I talk, I mean, we used to talk for quite a while.
Chris, by this point, has already popped in an edible, maybe.
Oh,
he's been asleep for hours.
I assume he took an edible before he went to sleep, but what a waste of THC.
Well, usually he does it when he's podcasting. Yeah. Allegedly.
He would have liked my song if he would have.
IMDb, give me Robert Duvall.
At least I can laugh at myself. I'm not like some people.
Me? Are you talking about me?
I'm not talking about anybody.
You're fucking looking at me, asshole. You say it in my goddamn face.
I'm not suggesting anyone on this podcast. I'm just talking about people in general.
By the way, falling down, I felt like I was going to turn into that after the accident because I was kind of like not immediately after the accident, but the day after. It was like I was just so on edge that it was just like at any moment I could.
That's the day you threw the dry salmon up against the wall. Don't ever cook for me again!
You call this salmon? Tastes like cod.
Yeah. I'd rather have dolphin fish.
I told you to cook the farm fresh salmon the right way with the butter, and I said 10 minutes tops. Then the phone rings and you walk out of the room, and what happens? We get dry fucking salmon. Make some cheap ass tuna salad sandwich for me for lunch this week. And then I went down to the basement and I said, if you know me, that is not the way things go in my household. But if you enjoy this show and everything we do, give us a rate and review on iTunes. We would appreciate that.
Rate a review.
You rarely eat meat, Matt. I get it, and like you get a little bit of fish. It's like your one time where you can be happy.
I know.
And then when it's dry, it's like just ruin my whole fucking week, maybe my month.
It's almost reminds me of that video that Chris sent of Tom Brady, who was intoxicated coming out, and someone in the thing put he wasn't drunk, he just had a carb.
Right.
He's all healthy and stuff like that. I saw a video earlier. I go, is that really Tom Brady? He was throwing like the trophy.
Yeah, Lombardi Trophy. Yeah, it's another boat.
Yeah. Well, the first time it fell in the water, so they called a holding call. So he got to throw it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I put. That's why I put it in our chat. I said, "Well, he got a DUI, but there was a holding call, so they let him go."
What you don't see is the big yellow safety net underneath the water when he was doing it.
Right. I mean, people are like criticizing him. I go, I can't criticize him. I've been there. You know, people are probably buying him drinks. He's probably just got caught up.
He's having a hoot.
But he wasn't wearing a mask.
Don't jinx me, John, by saying that my wife's going to listen to this show. So
she'll listen to it because I'll send her a link.
Just a slice.
You want to lose your
little bit of audio.
Who's going to produce it? You,
Nick.
All right. Well,
you could have done a few good men. Who's going to produce it?
We are now at T-5 minutes and counting, and Jack is just wanting to take it to the very last moment.
Am I right though? Didn't it sound like he was going to?
I didn't feel it from you, Jack, though, because it needs to be a bit more intense. You know, like who's going to produce the podcast? You, Jack. Glatfeldler.
What did you call me?
Yeah,
Jack. What? Glatfeldler.
He's going to rate and review us on iTunes. Yeah. After that,
hey, we got 4.5 minutes.
No. We're burning daylight here, people.
I just thought it would have been cool if you had gone into, because you're showing your anger, with your wife with the salmon. If you would have gone Jack Nicholson there, because I thought that's what you were going with. I'm just throwing it out there. But I thought for the audience, the people who joined us in the chat, might have been a little bonus for them. But you said, "Fuck it, I'm not doing it." Could I get in the show in 2 hours? Go ahead.
4 minutes and counting. Thank you for everybody that joined us in the chat live.
It's under 4 minutes.
Send us an email at rcadcast I'm not waiting for it, gmail.com.
Gmail! Who's going to do it? Gmail.com!
Go over to jandjack.com. Click on the patron link there. Become a patron. Donate as much as you want or as little as you want because Jack annoys you. We appreciate every little bit that helps. And specifically, some patrons that I'd like to thank at this point, the end of the show.
You're going to make it, Matt.
I'm going to make it. Oh, I'm going to fucking make it.
There you go. Now you're getting into that where you got the dried salmon.
This is brought to you by Tack Your Time.
I hope these names are good, man. They better be good.
Yeah,
I actually made them during this show because it took this fucking long. But it's they are show themed, so we've talked about these things or these elements in this show tonight. So see if you recognize them. Tack from Target. Eckhart got a bigger boat because I know we didn't talk about Jaws, but we kind of did. It's Jack's background. Anyway, This is the good one though. Ed, the Robert Duvall of patrons.
That just sounds like brown nosing, really.
I know it does, really. So, Eckhart, do you need a bigger podcast? we got a dinghy out back. Maggie got Gina Carano fired. There we go. There's no limerick thing here. Joanne never saw Tender Mercies, and Greg is so glad we got to talk about Star Wars. Thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for making this show possible.
I got to say, Nick, your song was probably one of the best ever. That list sucked. that was worse than the dried salmon.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining us live. Eric, Kim, John, Will, Matt Trees, happy birthday. Sherry, so sorry about all those Siri turning all of your lights off.
Siri, set my alarm for 4 a.m.
And go. Randy, you were in the chat. You're probably asleep by now.
Randy's asleep.
Chris Doran. I know you're getting at some point. So thank you, everybody.
And thanks, Amanda, for the song.
Yeah.
I used to do that though. I used to go to hotel rooms, like we'd go to Vegas and stuff like that. And my friends, I'd get on the phone and go, "Can I get a 4 a.m. wake up call?"
For room.
Well, they do it from your room because you did that.
Oh, right.
And their phones going.
Oh, right. You fucker.
After maybe after drinking all night and they finally get to bed, the phone's waking up.
Oh, Treest is still with us. Thanks for the birthday wishes. And Randy says he just woke up.
Well, thanks, Matt, for helping me out on the Sha-na-na.
Sha-na-na-na. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Before this gets any too much longer, this was a great show.
Family ties. Sha-na-na-na.
It was one in a Robert.
We should do Robert Duvall versus next week.
Sure, let's do